what's going on? It's Craig Bennett, aka Cash Cake here, back with another video. This one's going to be Thrive Fantasy. We're going to talk a little bit about props. We're going to go, one of their games, kind of talk about over and under a little bit. Again, it's kind of a different little site, very similar to some of the stuff I put out here. So I had a few people ask me to do another video, so here we are. And again, let's just jump right into it. Before that, though, hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel if you like any of this information, you find it any relevant to your research process. And let's just jump right into it. All right, as you can tell, I have the Thrive Fantasy desktop up here. I cannot pull up the prop lobby here where I'm located at. So I can't show you that, but I can show you their contest lobby that's just, again, very similar. We'll pull up basketball. But again, they have all sports here if you want to play it. If you don't have an account, again, you go over there and use promo code DFSArmy and get 100% instant deposit match up to $100. And I'll put the link in the description below. Something a little fun. We'll do the little contest that they have here for NBA. We'll pull it up. $20 entry. It's kind of a nice little payout structure here. $1,000 up top. And we'll just go through some of these picks and talk about them. It's a small 5-game slate that we have today. Got a lot of injury news. So we'll kind of go through and talk about these. And basically all you're trying to do here is get the most points, right? So, yes, I can't pull the prop lobby up and show you that, but we're still talking about the over under of all 10 or all 20 of these props. And what basically you're doing is you're picking 10 of them, and then so you pick your first 10, and then your next 2 are your ice picks, which your ice picks are in case of emergency props. So if one guy gets ruled out, it'll throw one of those in there to help you out. So they're kind of just some emergency props that you can pick. And we'll kind of go through and just go through each and every one of them. And hopefully this helps you out, not only in Thrive Fantasy, but it can help you out maybe making some of your decisions today in your play. So with that, here we go. Darius Garland, 23.5 points. Again, you're always going to get more points for, the harder hit here. So under 105 or over 95. He's been doing really well, Darius Garland. He's hit over 23.5 points in 8 of his last 10 games here, going up against Toronto, excuse me, that is ranked 10th in points allowed. Hasn't had super great success against Toronto, 21, 22, and 17 in the 3 games he's played. The latest one being March 6th, where he put up 17. But after that game, he's put up a ton. So if you want to take the shot on the under here and hope he doesn't hit it, I mean, he's hit the overs he has hit has been very close. 29, 24, 25, missed it at Philly, 22, 24, 25, 24. So even though I think he probably goes under, I would take a shot at the under here. Or even though I think he goes over, I think I would take a shot at the under for 10 more points, and hopefully they can stifle him a little bit. But that's kind of a tough one. Evan Mobley over 8.5 rebounds here. He hasn't been super great of late with rebounds, even with Jared Allen out. He's only went over this in 3 of his last 6 games, but he did put up monster rebounds against Toronto the last time that Jared Allen out. He put up 17 rebounds in that game in March 6th. So maybe you want to go the over on this one. Just even though he's only put up 5 rebounds against the Lakers, 11 Detroit, 11 Denver. But again, I think you can get there. Toronto's ranked 16th in rebounds allowed and 29th against the center position. So I do like this one if you're getting 110 points for this. Coming down to Fred VanVleet, 5.5 assists for Fred VanVleet. The under is at minus 120. This is one I really wouldn't touch because you're only getting 80 points for the over. And I feel like the over is the way to go here going up against Cleveland. Cleveland's defense is great points wise, but I think he can get there on the assist. So I would kind of stay away from that one on the over 80 points because you're trying to get first place. So I really wouldn't touch that one. Scotty Barnes, 1.5 blocks here for Scotty Barnes. Another one that I don't think I would touch either way. Yeah, the under at 70, you might get that one right. And if that's the way you're going to play more conservative, but I don't think that is a way that I would touch this one at all. So I'd kind of skip over that one. Alex Caruso over 0.5 steal. Yeah, he plays defense. That's what he does. If we're looking at the Bulls, DeMar DeRozan is questionable here. Chicago's favored by 1.5 on a 227.5 over under. Levine is probable. Brandon Ingram is doubtful. So Caruso, that's what he does. I get the over here. Again, if you're playing more conservative, I get that. I wouldn't touch the under here. But, on things like steals and blocks, there's always a chance a guy couldn't get there. So I do understand that if you wanted to take a shot on that. But the odds are he's going to get his hands on one. Just that's what his deal is. Like I said, DeMar DeRozan here, he is questionable. I don't think I would touch this one with Zach LaVine, probable to play. I would lean the under if I was going to take this. But him being questionable and that spread being so close, I'm not sure what I would do here. But I think I would lean the under if I was going to take anything with this pick. Heading down then to Joe Val. Joe Val, 13.5 rebounds and assists. Going up against Chicago. Chicago has not been great lately. And if we look at what he's done in rebounds and assists over his last few games here, he's put up 15, 14, 16, and 23 over his last 4. The over is on, around minus 135 for the over here. So I get the over 85 points. So if you want to play conservative, hit that. I don't think I would touch the under on this at that 13.5. He could get there in rebounds alone. But even though he's played Chicago once and only put up 11, but that was on October 22nd, completely different team now than it was back then. So I would take the over if you're going to take one. But again, not a whole lot of points for that, but the easier the plays, that tends to happen here. CJ McCollum, 27.5 points and assists for him. With Brandon Ingram being doubtful, it's basically it's all been CJ McCollum here. 27.5 feels super low. He's went 33, 33, 24, 30, 40, 43, 33. So he's crushed this line in 6 of his last 7 games. So this is an easy over for me. I love that, especially if you get 100 points for him. Kristaps Porzingis, 31.5 points, rebounds, and assists. This one's all comes down to how you feel the game's going to go. If you feel like the game's going to be close, I would take the over here. With no Kyle Kuzma, he should have to do a lot. But if you feel like it's going to be a blowout, take the under. And that's just all comes down to how you feel like the game's going to play. KCP, 1.5 blocks and steals. I would take the under here. But again, he's going to play a ton of minutes. If it stays close, I'd probably take the over. If you think it blows out, I'd probably take the under. Same kind of thing with Porzingis in those plays. So they're real tough. Giannis, 29.5 points for Giannis. Giannis should be able to do whatever he wants in this matchup. The line is actually 32.5 at a lot of the books out there. So you're getting like three points here. He's played Washington twice this year. He's put up 29 and 33 points against them. I would lean the under here if you think it blows out. If you think it's competitive, definitely the over, because he could smash this. He could smash this in 3 quarters regardless. So let's be real here. If we look at the minutes he played, Washington, 39 and 38. So he played a ton of minutes in those 2 games. But, they blew out Chicago last game without Middleton. Middleton is out. He put up 29 minutes. He put up 25 points. So, if it's a close game, he's going to smash that 29.5. So, again, that's one of those things where if you're going to pick some Porzingis over, you definitely want to take Giannis's over, and because they correlate really well together. Drew Holiday, 5.5 rebounds and assists. Not going to have, not going to have Drew Middleton out there. Man, my brain ain't working. This is an easy over for me with rebounds and assists, especially if you're getting 115 for rebounds and assists. Because if we look at that, he's put up 7, 9, 7, 11, 8. I mean, he's went over this rebounds and assists and last 10 games. I mean, and with no Middleton out there, this one just feels like a free square to me. And you're getting 115 points. That's a no-brainer for me. Malcolm Brogdon, he didn't play yesterday. They let Halliburton and Hield go off against their old team in Sacramento, and boy, they went off. If you were over at DFSArmy, you knew we were heavily on those guys. I think he plays this game. 5.5 assists is way too low, even though going against Memphis, they're on a back-to-back as well. We might get Ja Morant back. He is questionable, but they are massive favorites at 12.5. But I would still take the over on this one. Buddy Hield, I'm going to take the under at 21.5 points and rebounds. Again, if Brogdon comes back, and Chris Duarte was out yesterday as well. If he comes back as well, it just really hurts Buddy Hield. I think he kind of blew his load yesterday with that game against Sacramento, kind of wanting to put it to them. So I would take the under, especially for 105 points. Steven Adams, 12.5 points or 12.5 rebounds and assists for Steven Adams. It's one of those spots going up against Indy. They do not have a lot of big men here, so I don't mind taking the over on that at 105. Desmond Bane, this one all depends on what's going to happen with Ja Morant. If Ja Morant plays, I would want the under here. If John Morant doesn't play, I would want the over on that one. Mikal Bridges, 23.5 points, rebounds, and assists for him. A lot of this has to do, Chris Paul is questionable. I don't think he plays. I think he's going to be out here. Denver's favored by 3.5, 231.5 over under. Phoenix is on a back-to-back. He's going to have to do a little bit of everything here. I kind of like the over on this one if I was going to choose. Jay Crowder, 11.5 points. Cam Johnson is still doubtful. So if he sits, Frank the Tank is still out as well. I do like the over for 110 points. I'll take a shot at that all day long. Aaron Gordon, 5.5 rebounds. Again, going up against Phoenix, that's on a back-to-back here. And they played a tough game against Minnesota last night. But if we look at his rebounds, he's went 7, 4, 8, 2, and 3 over his last 5. But has done well against Phoenix in rebounds, putting up 8 and 10 in his last 2. So I do like the over there for 95 points. This would be an ice pick. As you can see, once you go to 10, your next 11th pick is an ice pick. So if some of these guys were ruled out, say if Buddy Hield was ruled out, he would slide into that play. That's how that means it. And then Jokic, over 47.5 points, rebounds, and assists for Jokic. Massive total here for Jokic. Again, going up against Phoenix. If we look at what he's done in the past against them, only back on October 20th, he put 42 points, rebounds, and assists. There's no juice on the under or over. That is a big number for him, but if it stays competitive, I could see a chance of taking the over here because he's doing everything for this team. So I would lean the over if you're going to take that. So here's some of the picks that we did. Again, it's real fun. $20 to have a chance for 1,000. The payout structure is not too bad. Again, they also have a prop lobby as well that I can't pull up here where I'm located, but it's very similar. If I'm going through these props right here, take some notes, play some, and hopefully that helped out. So with that, again, if you're not don't have an account over here at Thrive Fantasy, and if you want to try a month out of DFSArmy VIP membership, come over here. If you're a new account for Thrive Fantasy and you deposit at least $20 in your new account, you can get a free month of DFSArmy VIP membership, and all that is in the description below. So with that, hope you guys have a great Thursday, and be on the lookout for a couple more videos today, and enjoy some basketball. Got some NCAA as well, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. Deuces.